Speaking with Adrienne Bell, Executive Director of Brand New Congress. Gerrymandering is a very big part of the problem. It's pretty bad here in Florida, but I've seen how some of the lines are drawn in Texas. That is absolutely incredible. Is there sort of like a science, if you will, in terms of, when you are scouting out a candidate and figuring, if they are, the right fit for Brand New Congress, do you look at electoral viability as one of the things in terms of, will they be able to at least, there's no guarantee you're going to win. Obviously the odds are long, but do you at least look at, the district lines, the name recognition, things like that, in terms of candidates that you are now bringing onto the slate, in terms of the natural evolution of the organization?
We look at candidates that are a good fit for America, not just a good fit for BNC. We look for candidates that already have the values, progressive values that America needs. Looking at areas where it's not going to be just running against a Democratic incumbent who may not possess all of the progressive values they want. Such Medicare for all seems to be like a divider between people. But it's looking at the holistic of, we don't want to just trade out Democrats, trade Democrats. We want to uproot some Republicans. And we know it's more difficult in R plus districts. Like I think you mentioned, well, the one you mentioned, like R plus a number too high to where you go like, it just kind of blows your mind. But we've got to, one thing that we've seen is that we got to run candidates against them. Now, are we going to endorse every candidate that runs against a Republican? We can't, but we need to run against Republicans. And it can be an R37. If you're a Democrat and you want to run. Because they'll just walk into office and they have no competition. But we look, let me get back to what we're looking at. We look holistically at the entirety of the United States. Can we get a candidate in Colorado? Is there progressive running in Colorado? It would be nice. I don't know. It'd be nice having candidates that in Colorado, candidates in New York, candidate in Texas, candidate in California, candidate in Montana, just across the board, so that U.S. Congress will begin looking like America, and it'll share values that are across America. So we look for a good fit for America, not just for Brand New Congress.
I think you're absolutely right. I do think that there needs to be a push with the GOP. I think that there is a very big untapped market. I think it has just more to do with being non-corporate, even nonpartisan to some degree. For example, Marjorie Taylor Greene is somebody that a lot of people are going to circle. But again, her district is a plus 27R. Why would you not try to field a non-corporate GOP? And again, it's not a question of whether that person is not going to look like that district or represent the values of that district, but why not have somebody who is not going to kowtow to corporate special interests and is instead going to be looking out for the best interests of the people who live there? The truth is, we do share a lot of common values with the people on the other side, if you will. It just depends on the issue. Very often it's the wedge issues that divide us, but the primary issues seem to be the ones that we really agree upon. And there's always going to be, the worst of the worst representatives. I mean, we see them on all sides. I mean, you're in a part of the state that's very close to where Dan Crenshaw represents, for example. But that doesn't necessarily mean that the people in the district reflect that of what he does. And I think that's something that is possible to change. There isn't a organization that is attempting to bring some sense back to the GOP, but I think having that type of attitude could really go a long way. Jen, what do you think?
Well, yeah, I mean, and I also think that we've talked about this before, that campaigns have their own purpose, not just the point of electing somebody, because it's part of creating a movement in a location, and it has to keep being built upon every single year. It can't just be during election time. So the campaign is its own entity. Like, I don't think it really matters whether it's a Democrat or Republican district. I mean, and I agree with Christina, because that is sort of a talking point that the establishment uses, or that unions use, or organizations use, as to whether or not to support somebody. But it's a chicken and an egg thing. And the bottom line is, if you want to have progressive movement, you need to have candidates pushing it in different locations. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, to me, regardless of whether it's red or blue, it's a worthwhile venture to promote the topics and the issues. So, I mean, that's just my take on the campaigns in general.
I agree. One of the reasons that I ran back to back, because when you campaign and that season is over, man, you're tired. Tired is not even the word.
Yeah.
You've given up 2 years of your life, and you've given a lot. And I'm not saying that you do it with regret. I'm just giving the reality of it. You have just gone, and then election is over, and just everything just starts draining. But I had a voter who told me that I gave her hope. And we're talking about a conservative area. And to hear, and then it was more than just her to say, you gave me hope, because they feel like their voices don't matter, they don't count, and it's like they go vote, but why? You know, because nothing's going to change. We'll have anyone to vote for, kind of thing. But to know that when we run, we give someone hope that we are thinking about them. We care that they eliminated the federal unemployment bonus, the $300. We care that they have to make it on a few $100s a week. We really care that you don't have clean water. We really care when a hurricane comes through, that your electricity is out, you have no food, and FEMA is not on the way. We really care about those things. And it gives people some inspiration to keep hanging on, because, you know, one day some change is coming. It may happen in this one area, and it may take us 2 more years. Like you said, in 2022, we may have 3 new progressive leaders on the Hill. I'm hoping there are 3 new progressive leaders that have taken out some Republicans. So we actually are adding to the numbers and not just trading a Democrat for Democrat, but we've got new voices or new people that speak like us, regular working Americans. I am a second grade in a public school. And so we need people who know what it feels like when you talk to our children who have gone through COVID, who all of a sudden had to shift to virtual learning, and teachers had to just shift to virtual teaching and didn't know what to do, and you couldn't come together to learn. It's tough. And so our public education, our education system has gone through an upheaval. It's going to take us years, and it's going to cost us economically, and we've got to look at that and address it. But we need candidates who have been a part of education who can make a difference, not those who haven't been in a school since they graduated, and then it was a private school. You know, we got to have some real champions, is all I'm saying, that understands hardworking people.
Thanks for watching. If you want to support our mission to transform politics into service, please like this video, subscribe, follow us on social media, and consider joining our Patreon, where you'll get early access to our interviews as well as other exclusive content. Links are in the description. Peace out.